Come stand in the middle of your mat then, feet hip width apart. Perhaps a little wiggle on the fingers, wiggle on the toes. Maybe just a little bit of a wiggle on the elbows and shoulders. Then just begin to think about posture. So tuck the pelvis under. Think about growing tall up through the spine. Got your tips of your ears just sat over the top of your shoulders. Crown of head shining towards the ceiling. A lot of tonight we're going to hold for about 10 seconds. So we'll start with the pelvic floor transverse abdominis, pulling in. See if you can work with around 100%, so it's taking a lot of your concentration, and we'll hold for 10 seconds. So pulling in. Relax your shoulders, relax the muscles in your jaw, just make sure you're breathing normally here. I mean, what is normally, but you know, just try and remember to breathe. Okay, hold those core muscles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and a slow release. We'll do it once more. This time just check in with the breathing, because I noticed then I was holding my breath towards the end. Okay, so pulling in, hold, just check you're not gripping your toes or fingers, the muscles in your jaw. Also, you got that length at the back of the neck. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, let's breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow release, take 50%, and let's go to a bit of a jazz walk. So just bending in the knee, rolling through the foot, so you're going heel and then you're lifting up onto the ball of the foot towards the toes. You can do a little bit of a kind of hip wiggle here if you want to, just allowing the hips to slightly sway side to side. That's when the whole jazz thing comes in. You can let the arms swing in there as well. It's just thinking about moving and warming up through the feet and ankles. I've got my sticky socks on. I don't know if you can hear that. Might not be that sensitive, but you can hear them like peeling off the mat. It's quite a satisfying sound. Okay, knee circles. So a slight bend in the knee, so you're almost kind of sticking your bum out. Then just taking a circle with the knees. And this is quite an interesting one. You get some nice stretches kind of down on the lower leg, but also kind of there with the knee round the knees as well. And then the other way around. They're not super big circles. Coming up the body, hip circles. Hands on hips, soften through the knees. Kind of make your own version of these as well if you really want to go dip your chest forwards. You can go a little bit further. Release there with the lower back. Okay, let's come to stand. We're going to just take an exercise here. It's a breathing exercise, but we're going to go hands at heart center. Breathing in, reaching up all the way, hands, palms touch at the top. Then push the air away, bring it all back down, coming back to center. Just breathing in, floating those arms up, touch them at the top, and breathing out, bring it down. So we'll start with about 4 seconds. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And maybe see if you can go for 5. So we're just slowing this all down. 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now just going with your own version, your own pace, because you might find me counting you with your breathing quite annoying. So just see if you can go all the way up to 8. So each time just adding 1 more second. Think about the expansive breath that we do, where you really think about the inhale, expanding the ribcage as you inhale. Exhale, soften. So just going in with your breath, go with your breath. And then see if you can go back down. Go back down your numbers. just taking a second away each time. And one more, ending on 4. Okay, nice. Gonna go to some side bends, so just reaching down to the side of the knee and then over to the other side. Try and keep the hips still, hips central. Dipping ear down to shoulder. And then just depending on how you're feeling now, if you want a little bit more, you want to work into a little bit more extension, reach the arm up and over. Perhaps going palm facing down as well in there, so you're just kind of really working there with the side. Almost like you're just unpeeling into that stretch. 3 more. Exhale, extend. Coming to center, we're going to go knee hugs, and this is going to be a balance. So soften in the standing leg, and then you're just going to see if you can take a little knee towards chest, squeeze, and then release, and then over to the other side. So work into the balance. You're going to start feeling your feet activating. So perhaps anchor yourself through big toes, pelvic floors, maybe even glutes as you do your knee hug. You don't have to get your knee all the way to your chest. Just do your version of this. Quite a nice way just to release with the lower back. Two more. Woo. Quite a tricky balance. Okay, then we're going to go scapular set. So that's this one. If you want, you could put your weights into that. Shoulders down and back, keep the length at the back of the neck. Now, I've always got this wall behind me, so if you have got a wall, it's quite interesting to notice where the lower back is on the wall, and is it lifting off the wall loads, because that's a good way of checking whether you're there in neutral or not. So you can always have a little play with doing scapular set with a wall behind you. Breathing out as you open, take the thumbs back. Keep an eye on the wrists here, so check that you're not kind of letting the weights drop lower than the wrist. So just tuck in with the wrists and the where your fingers are. Two more of these. Then we're going to go to squats. Bend the knees and then go into your squat. And actually I went to a front raise there, but I was actually going to keep it all quite close to the body. The strength work today is going to keep quite central, and then the stretching extension work, we're going to extend and put some squeezing for 10 seconds. But if you do want to front raise, don't let me stop you if that's something you want to do. Keep an eye on the feet, keep an eye on the knees. Squeezing glutes as you lift. Choice to add in here at the top is your circle round, touch weights at the top, and then come down. Think about taking the hips back in to space. You've got everything in line, the shoulders, the knees, the feet. Keep the pelvis tucked under as you go up into your circle at the top. Starting to get some heat in the body now. Hopefully everyone else is starting to warm up. Let's go 2 more of these. Then go to your wide leg. I know I do this one every week. Bending in the knees, any tightness in the hips, perhaps a little shimmy side to side. And then take your big circle with your weights all the way around. Try and keep the core central, the head still. And again, even if you take small circles on that, that's fine today. It's just about keeping everything nice and strong in the center, doing things well. So not losing form. Four one way, four, back around the other way. Just notice if you're holding any tension in the feet, perhaps just letting go of any tightness in there in the toes. Then we're going to put the weights down, but stay in your wide squat. I'll just adjust so you can see lower legs a bit more. So you're going to bend in one knee, take a stretch, and you're going to really send your hips back with that stretch and bring your chest forwards. And then go over to the other side. Really nice inner thigh stretch here. And I'm going to put some little options for you. So you could take this down towards the floor. This nice long leg, those toes can go up to the ceiling and you get a little bit more depth into that hamstring. And then you can walk across over to the other side. Got that inner thigh, but you've also got the hamstring stretch. Flex that foot. Okay, a little bit more coming in here. Now, you can put your elbow inside of that bent knee. Reach the arm up, upper body twist, chest stretch. Walking that across. Same thing, you've got that lovely hamstring stretch, flex the foot. You can add in your twist, arm up to the ceiling. Challenge for those that want it. You're coming into that stretch and then you're going to see if you can let go of the hands and hold. That's a balance. Then see if you can go over to the other side. And again, you can have a little go at just see if you can let go of the arms. Work with that balance. Super challenge if anyone wants it. Do all of that without touching the floor. Bit like a surfer, swapping over without putting those hands down. So quite a lot of work with the hips in there as well, if anyone's noticing that. Okay, coming into center, wide-legged forward fold. So legs are still wide. You can turn the toes so they're slightly in at this point. And this is where blocks might be useful if you've got them. Because we're going to come down, chin to chest. Really take the hamstring stretch and relax. Exhale. Inhale, lift up the chest. So we're getting this really nice flat back position. Inhale, half lift, and that's where the block can be quite useful on that, or you can hold on to your legs. Crown head stays in line with the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Send the breath kind of up the spine. Inhale, really expand rib cage. Exhale, release. Let's go for one more of those. Inhale, find that nice flat back. Exhale into the forward folds. Okay, slowly uncurl, bring the legs together. Should feel like you've had a nice stretch. Let's go to balance. Hands at heart center. Your choice of balance here. If you like tree from last week, you maybe like your eagle. Or maybe you like hugging knee to chest. We're going to see if we can close our eyes 5 seconds. Just finding your anchor with that balance. And opening eyes and do your heel lifts. See if you can go for 10 of these. Lift and lower. Really press into the mat. Check in with the engaging in the pelvic floor. Check in with engaging on that core. Woo. I don't know if anyone else gets this, but some days my balance is just really terrible, even when I ride my bike. Okay, swap that over, swap legs. Again, first of all, see if you can find the 5 seconds closing your eyes. Perhaps using either the big toes, a good little anchor, the glutes, the pelvic floor. Taking a deep breath, then your heel lifts. Think about the way you're going up through that foot. So are you rolling through the ball of the foot? It's also quite interesting when you're out walking or running, just to keep an eye on that as well. Are you working through the big toe? My sticky socks are making a noise. Okay, single leg exercise then. So you've got your chair squats, your dips that you could do on the stairs, you could do lunges, and if you liked the rotational lunges, you could put that in. Deadlifts, or deadlifts with the weights as well if you want that option. I think I'm going to do chair squats again. I did that one last week, but I actually felt quite good doing it. 2 sets of 10 on each leg, unless you're on dips and or lunges, sometimes you get time to do 2 sets on the chairs and the dips, but then on the other ones you know what I mean. Don't know what's wrong with me today. Getting my words a bit muddled, aren't I? It's one of those days. It's a rainy day. Think about eye gaze. So if you're looking down a lot, practice if you can start shifting that so you're looking forwards. What's happening with your shoulders as well? You're holding tension in the shoulders or in the jaw as well. Keeping an eye on what's happening with the foot, the feet and the knees. Any sort of pronating, can you work on your balance and stop that happening? Also a nice little exercise if you're doing the same leg over and over and you want to have a little test. Do one leg and then switch it, and you can do that in any of these exercises, so you can alternate it. And then see if that makes it more tricky for you, because you're having to quickly re-establish the muscle movement. So that's also quite another way of testing yourself. You can do that on the stair dips as well. And lunges, you can alternate your lunges. We are going to go to downward dog. So when you're back in, I'm just keeping an eye on screens. When you're back in with us, it's a downward dog with a jazz walk. So you can always go there if you're ready. You can play with how wide you take your feet. So you can go wider than hip width as well. Spread your fingers. If you haven't done any downward dogs for a while, you're feeling a little bit stiff, you can always come down to your plank, hinge from the hips, just see if that helps get into the right position. Maybe, sometimes I come into dog and my hands are too close to my legs actually, and I'm not creating that shape that I need because I'm all a bit too close together. So when I find plank and I go up, it helps me just to get into the right position there. Just stretching out the backs of the legs. Just giving a little bit of time for just the blood to move around the body. Shifting anything that's got a bit stuck. Anything a bit stagnant. One more deep breath here in downward dog. Bring it down onto all fours. So I said I was going to keep strength quite close and into the body. So we're going to go a row back with a single leg extension, and we'll do 8 on one side, and then I'm going to put in another move with that as well. So basically you need a weight ready. I'm going to go with my left leg first. Weights in right arm. Row back and leg lift. Keeping there nice and neutral. Engage through the core. Squeeze in the glutes. I think I did do this one a couple of weeks ago with you. See if you can have your palm facing up. So you're really targeting tricep at the back of the arm for the row back. Really focus there on lower back. You're not arching in the lower back. Staying nice and strong. We're keeping everything quite close to the body. Breathing out as you lift. Once you've done 8 of those, it's going to be, we're still working with the left leg. Shift the hips over to the right slightly, and it's knee to elbow and extend. So this is more kind of mobility, knee to elbow, extend. So this is kind of playing around with hip work, so you're opening in the hips. So just kind of try not to look back at the legs, so looking forward still. 4 of these, so that's that last one. Coming back to center, and then we're going to go left leg again, extend, right arm extend. See if you've got any corners, so maybe have a little play with towards the corners of the mat. Hold 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, find the core. 6, 5, 4, keep squeezing that glute. 3, 2, 1, and release. Quite thorough. Gonna do that on the other side. So weight's gonna be in your left hand now. You're gonna work with the right leg. Into the row back. Into that right leg lift, squeezing in the glutes. Stay strong through the center. Particularly TVA you might find working quite hard for you. Palm facing up towards the ceiling as it goes into that row back. Exhale, lift. Inhale, center. Should be feeling that glute really squeeze in there. Done those 8, then let those hips slightly shift over to the left, ready to open to the right. Knee to elbow, extend. Work with opening there with the hips. Try not to look back at the leg if you can, so looking forwards to the front of the mat. Okay, ready to come to the extension part, lift. See if you can get that leg up level with the hips. Lift the left arm, go to the corners, hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, keep squeezing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release down. Well done. Like I said, quite thorough. Okay, let's go for a release low lunge. No matter whichever side you feel like you want to use first. Low lunge, let's just bring the hands down, frame the foot. Just see if you can really work there into the hip flexor. I tried this the other day, so just tucking under the back toes. Notice the stretch now on the front of that back leg. Now see if you can come up and lift. Back toes just tucked under, feel the quad stretch in there. Staying with that, if you want a little bit more, I'm going to go up into Humble Warrior, so you can join me here if you want to last week. Lifting up the back knee, interlink the hands behind, and bring the chest down towards that front knee. Humble Warriors. And squeeze and balance. One more breath. Exhale, bring the hands down, bring the knee down, and we'll swap sides. Low lunge. Framing the foot. Find that hip flexor stretch. You can always have a little wiggle side to side if you've got tightness there in the hips. Then let's think about that back foot. Tuck that back foot under. Lift ourselves up. Feel the stretch kind of on the front of this back leg, particularly there with the quad. If you want more, then you're going to find humble warrior. So just straightening that back leg. Find your balance. Interlink the hands behind. Bring the chest down. Try and keep the crown of the head in line with the spine. Take a breath. Exhale, release the hands down. Bring the knee down. Let's come all the way down onto Sphinx. Elbows underneath your shoulders. Take a moment to bring the eye gaze forwards. To kind of get that lift on the heart. Think about the crown of head rising. Length there through the spine. Last week I did this kind of spin to side bend, so if you liked that, you could go into that from Sphinx today. So it's where you just go onto your side and then you can find a balance with side bend. And then come down to Sphinx and then go to the other side. So it's working with balance. You've got option elbow down or you've got option straight arm. Quite a nice, I quite like that one. That's one of my new favourites. Okay, let's go from here, let's go to a quad stretch. So you can either reach round and then press fingers into your foot into fingers, make it quite an active stretch with that chest stretch, or you could bring it all the way down, hold on to the ankles if you can just totally relax, take a passive quad stretch. Just going there for about 10 seconds, then we'll go over to the other side. Again, you've got your options. If you like particularly the active work. Sometimes depends just on your day, what your muscles have been doing. Okay, we're going to go to tilted bow and scorpions for those that want it. If you don't want it, it's going to be double leg kick, lift and lower for your bow part. And then you can also put in a windscreen wiper for the lower back release in there as well. Try and keep the pelvis still as you do that. Those that want a little bit more in terms of release and stretching, you've got your bow, holding onto the ankles, lift up the knees, lift up the chest, look forwards, exhale, release, and then you can spin that onto your sides for the tilted bow. I don't think I did it last week. I don't know if anyone noticed. They missed it. Scorpions, you need a little bit of space for. So the scorpion's going to get you the same kind of movement as your windscreen wiper, but scorpion's a little bit more intense. You're going to go fingers off the mat, elbows off the mat, push in and round, and then let yourself spin, maybe even touch foot with hand. And it's the scorpion's tail. If you can imagine a scorpion, it's got like a big curved kind of tail on it. And that's the sort of idea that you get. It curls round up towards the hand. Just having a little watch to see what everyone's having a go at and what you perhaps are trying out. Nice. Okay, just going to go to Cobra for 10 seconds and I will put option in here. So you've got your narrow Cobra where your hands are just below your elbows, tuck your elbows, below your shoulders, tuck your elbows in. Or I'm going to put in here King Cobra, take your hands off the mat, really go up onto fingertips as well if you want, and then you can lift up the hips. So take everything a little bit wider and kind of taller. And you can slowly lower that all down. Then we're going to go swan dive. So this is where I've been using the block for a stretch or a book or something. So extend, lying on your front, extend your arms out. Your arms are off the mat and you're holding on to something in front. And just take this stretch for your arms and your posture. So you've got your chest kind of slightly starting to lift off the mat here. But also imagine an ice cube underneath your tummy and this, start thinking about lifting up your tummy and your pelvic floor. Think about this extension all across the spine here. So from here we can go to the cactus, into the lift and extend, and see if you can keep the block in there and just work your extension, just hover it off your block or book. See if that helps you to get into that lifted position. You can always hold on to the block as well if you're struggling. Exhale, extend. Going back to the block, have a stretch, but if you want a challenge, take a full lift, arms, legs, hold 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, cat stretch. On all fours, tuck the chin under. Tuck the pelvis under. Go with how you feel here, so take a bit of flow. If you want a hip circle, you want a hip drop, you want a wrist stretch. I'm just going to leave it up to you. Go for about a minute on this. You might feel like you want more. You want more mobility, cat to cow, more work with the spine. Totally fine. Just check in with what you want. I'm going to put some new ones in, because for anyone that wants anything new, is leg out to the side, and then kind of a little bit of again, so it's with hip forwards and back release work. So it's almost a cat to cow kind of work with your leg to the side on that one. Again, that's quite nice, just to help release with the hamstrings and movement. I sometimes at this point give you a toe stretch, so tuck the toes under, sitting back towards the feet, and I'm also going to give you two new ones here if you want them. I think put this one in the other day. Hero, I always put a block in this as I sit on the block or cushion. Hero is where you open up the front of the body a bit more. Some people will go all the way down on this. Some people will go onto elbows, and you can turn your feet to the sides. So again, you can kind of work with wherever you're at on that. And I'm also going to put camel in here. Just for that when I say a bit of free play for a minute, it's just you might find you really like one of these and want to just play with that. Camel is a little bit more of a chest opener. Send the hips forwards and you're reaching back onto your heels. Now, if that's too hard, you can do half a camel, one arm up, one arm back. So this idea of knowing where the tightness is and just kind of having a little play and what needs a little bit more of a stretch. Just giving you some little ideas of other things you can do in there. Okay, let's go to plank. Sorry, boring. 10 seconds then, we're going to do it 3 times. Elbows under shoulders. Option 1, knees down. Option 2, legs straight. Are we in position? Are we ready? Find the core, breathe. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a rest. Relax. And then get ready to go again. In position. Find the core. I'm kind of working with the idea that you relax and then you find the core again with this. 10 seconds, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. And then find it all again. Find position. Find the core. Breathe. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll release child's pose. Sitting back onto the heels. Bring the forehead down. If the forehead doesn't come down to the floor, that's in. Also, you can use your block there. Put it underneath your head. Your choice if you like to have your hands in front or you maybe feel like a side stretch. You could take your hands to the side of the mat or your hands down by your feet. 5 deep breaths. Just perhaps see if you can get your breath to the 8 seconds that we did there in the first move in the warm-up. Okay, let's go on to one side then. Check on the time. How am I doing? Okay. Just seated position, like a mermaid. So you've got this nice kind of work with the hips. Breathing in, reach the arm up. Breathing out, thread the hand through underneath the body, through the waist. Couple of these I'm going to just put in, I'm going to go straight to a little bit of a higher option on this. It's going to be legs straight and you're going to have the top foot sat in front of the bottom foot and then thread through. It's a bit of a jump. I mean, I guess you could do it down here, knee down, if you feel like that top layer is too much. Side plank twist. Such a great way just to open through the chest. Okay, coming down into, you're going to go to clams. You can put your bands in here if you want to. Almost like you're going to fall forwards, lift top knee and lower. Engage the core. A little bit of tension there in the feet. Just so you can touch your heels with your arm that's on the top. Couple more. Okay, lengthen out the legs. Come to the front of the mat. We're going to roll onto our backs and do a seated roll up from here. Double leg lift. So lift, rib cage lift. Take a bit of a squeeze. Point the toes. Take a balance. Release. Roll onto your back. Chin to chest. Bend the knees. So if you can come up. Did it last week, didn't we, in the end? And then roll it back down vertebrae by vertebrae. and then roll. Now you might get a bit of a flow on here and you might just want to go straight into your lift and your lower. I'll leave it up to you if you don't want to do it bit by bit. Anyone last week, you remember we did hands behind the ears for the sit-up, so if you want a challenge, remember that one. We're just doing 4, so this for me is my last one. On the last one, I want you to stay lifted and don't roll back down. Place your hands behind you, and this is called seated pigeon, so this is a bit of a new one. Doesn't matter which way you have your hands facing for this. So you're going to put one foot, like we do a glute stretch, flex that foot and put it across the top of the knee. It's actually quite tricky. So this is a pigeon. This is what we normally do when we're on our fronts doing pigeon, but obviously this is in the seated position. And then you can bring this closer to your body if you want to, towards your chest. And you feel a very strong stretch there from probably hips and glutes. Try not to let the upper body crumble, and I know I'm doing that a little bit, so if you can lift up and out of that, send the chest towards your leg. Feel that stretch. Release that leg down, let's go all the way down, we'll do the other side in a sec. Come back onto your side, we did it last week, request to do it again. Side kick with the twist, flex the top foot, side kick, point the toes, bring it back, hamstring, stretch. If you're feeling tight, you could pulse into the stretch point. So flex that foot, pulse, 2, 3, and bring it back. If you liked the twist in there we did last week, hands behind your ears, open it out, bring the elbow back down. I think last week as well I gave you the knee bend to extend, so if you like that version of it as well, you could always try that one. Bit more of a bicycle leg. Harder to do the pulse though, on the bicycle. One more. Okay, let's go over to the other side. How does that side feel different to the other? I feel like it's had a really nice little stretch. Maybe my leg's longer. Maybe. Just have a little check. Okay, mermaid positions. Breathe in left, breathing out, thread through. Perhaps do a couple of these if you did go up into the next layer. Always just do a couple on the first layer, get yourself going and set up right. And if you liked it, it was either that bottom knee is going to be bent, you can work into your twist. Think of it as a chest stretch as well though. Or maybe you liked the legs straight and it's the top foot that just interlocks in the front just to stop you falling over. Again, chest stretch but also shoulder strengthening on that top layer. And the twist goes right down towards the ankles if you're up high with this. Two more. Exhale, twist. Lowering it down, go to the clams. Bend the knees, almost like you're going to fall forwards. A little bit of tension there in the feet, lift and lowers. Bands in there if you've got them. I have got mine. I don't know. I did some band work Saturday. I did some stuff in the gym. Mostly, I was very tired after training. Mostly sitting around stretching and staring at the wall. Does anyone else do that in the gym? Oh dear. But I did the weighted calms then. that's why I haven't put my band in today. Giving them a rest. My glute medials are tired. So if you can exhale into the lift. Okay, let's go again with the double leg lift. Roll onto our backs into the seated roll up. Again, if you get into the flow, you don't need to go on to my time. See if you can get your balance in there with your ribcage lift. Keeping the feet down if you can when you come up and you lower. You can always add in a weight on that as well. If you can't get those feet down, you can put a weight in there, see if that helps. Try and keep the knees hip width, the feet hip width. They tend to want to pronate in. That'll be when the hip flexors are doing the work, not the core. So just see if you can keep the knees hip width. Keeping those feet off the floor on that double leg lift. On that last one, stay lifted. Ready for that seated pigeon. Again, find a comfortable position. I should have said as well, you can always take that lower down as well if you were struggling on your wrists. You could take it down onto your elbows if that's better for you on that one. I didn't say which leg to do, did I? But I think it's whichever leg hasn't had a stretch, which should be for me. I think it's quite obvious. Yeah, hope it was for everyone. Flexing that foot though, okay, so it's not just totally just floppy on the top foot. Also notice if the other foot's turning out, is it in line? Just keep an eye on different things. The hips as well, are they wiggling or tilting? Okay, release from there, bring it down, we go side kick with twist if you want to. Flex that top foot, take it forwards, point, bring it back. Just being aware the bottom leg can stay bent, so that's a really nice supporting leg there, so do bend it so it gives you the support. Pulsing if you want to. Quite a nice way this one, just to get that length all through the stride. And you can put in your twist if you want. Top elbow just opening out. Maybe you don't get the elbow down to start with. Maybe it takes a few times into that stretch. One more. Okay, great. Let's go on our backs in. Did quite a lot of legs there. So should we go to a bit of core work? Go for the 5 sets. 4 toe taps, 8 pulses, and then an 8-second hold. Your choice of your layer here if you want to go straight up into teasers and things. Perhaps just a pelvic tilt, find neutral spine, relax your shoulders, palms up for your toe taps. Are we ready? Here we go then, 4 and 3, 2, let's find the core here, imprint lower back, and 1. Lift and pulse. Keep your tummy still. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fingers to knees. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release if you want more tabletop this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ready to pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go then. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release 2 more times. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. 4, 3, still imprinting. 2 and 1. Pause. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Take a full body stretch. Give everything a little bit of a squeeze. Point toes. Get your shoulders to touch your ears. Scrunch up your fists. Scrunch up your face. Take a really big deep breath in. Breathing out, just let all the tension go. Bending in the knees then. Gonna go one leg circle. Lift one leg up to tabletop. Find your core here, maybe hands on hips to feel any movement in there. Then just start taking a circle. And I did this one inside on the side last week, so it's a bit more tricky when you're lying on your back because your other knee will move. Option to straighten that leg if you want to, so you've got a straight leg circling. Focus on this other knee. The other knee will want to spiral, the hips will want to tilt. Use the core, imprint lower back down. Super still, other way around if you haven't already done so. The bigger the circle, the harder it is to keep everything still. And we're going to swap legs. So start with a bend at the knee. Hands on hips. Just, are you feeling it here? Are you noticing any movement in the lower back? Is the lower back tilting side to side? Is the other knee spiraling? Just see if you can keep the control here. Everything still. Just that leg moving. Using the core. Obviously you can straighten your leg if you want to, if you want a little bit more. This just really helps to strengthen the muscles there in the pelvis. All the muscles around the hips. So try not to let anything move. So you're strengthening those muscles. If everything's moving, you won't be strengthening them. If you haven't done the other way around, okay, and release down. Just have a little break. It takes quite a lot of concentration on that one. I'm going to go knee to chest. Do this one in a bit of a standing warm up. Knee towards the chest. And then alternate. So just swap that over, knee to chest. Now your choice here, you can straighten the other leg. And then heel slide it in and out. Now you can make this all work a little bit harder, and you can give a little chest lift and then hover the legs both off, so it's almost like a bicycle. Squeeze and then squeeze. Then notice if you're tilting in the lower back and hips, and try and keep everything really super still. If you can do that without wiggling, release the hands and see if you can hold the hands down by the sides, arms straight, single leg stretch with lots of control. You're not moving around here. Exhale into the lengthening the foot away. Keep working with the chest lift. 3 more. Hug knees into chest rock or circle. From here we go to the double leg if you want it, if that was too much. Go to that single leg again, or just do these arms over the head. Lengthen, try and keep the spine down, the shoulders down, and then bring it back. If you want more, double legs. Extend. Bring it back. Exhale, extend. Inhale, center. The lower those legs go down, the harder it is for the core to work. Your version here. Just one more. Then placing the feet down, bend the knees, arms out to the sides, or cactus if you haven't got much space. Both knees drop across to one side. And then center over to the other side. So just nice little bit of lower back release, chest stretch. You can look in the other direction if you think you get that neck release in there as well. Spine twist. I'm going to give you pretzel with this one. So let both knees drop across to one side. And then what you're going to do is that you've got your knees pointing to one side, and then you're going to go it's hard to describe it, isn't it, online? You're going to go the bottom ankle, you're going to grab with the opposite hand. So you've got your knee that's on the top, that is going to be held by your hand, which is the opposite hand to that side of that body, pushing down on that knee. And the idea of a pretzel is like that figure of 8 kind of position if you're a bird looking down. And then you hold on to your foot or your ankle with the other. Quite a nice stretch, really, this. Shoulder stretch. And also glutes as you work at pushing that knee down. Also kind of does similar things to scorpion, which we did earlier. Then try the other side. So knees drop across. And you've got opposite hand pushing down on that top knee, and then you're just seeing if you can find anything, maybe foot, middle of the foot, with that other hand. And then what you can really try in there as well is to bring the shoulders square, the shoulders down. That's where you get the real stretch across the top of the body. Try and get both elbows down to the mat. Also thinking about the neck here. Try and keep the length of the back of the neck so your chin's not lifting up to the ceiling. And then release with hamstring stretch. So if you want, you could use your bands. About 30 seconds on each side. You can always use furniture or props if you want to as well, if you haven't got your band or a towel. Push right at the back of the knee. If they're particularly tight, do your sort of 5 seconds on, 5 seconds off, or you could just do a hold. Just checking in whether you've been stretching or not and what you need. Maybe you want to flex and point as well. Some people like that with the stretch here with the foot. Perhaps just iron out the breath. So think about that 8 seconds where we got the breath a bit longer. And then you could go out to the side. And then we'll swap legs, same thing. Pushing away at the back of the knee, perhaps flexing with that foot. Oh, I've got one side a lot tighter than the other today. Noticing the upper body there as well. So just try not to hold the tension in your shoulders or the jaw. Think about the length at the back of the neck. Think about these connections all the way down the spine. Everything is connected. Tried to say that in my PhD exam. Everything is relative. It didn't go down very well. Oh dear. Then out to the side, if you like that one as well. Okay, let's put the bands away. Let's pelvic tilt, take it up into, when you're ready, into shoulder bridge. Treat it like a massage here for the lower back. So just go gentle, be kind, then take it into your lift. If you're ready, squeeze the glutes, take the arms up and over, chin to chest. Option here if you want to develop your lower back and glute strength, extend. So if you can hold 10 seconds. Keep squeezing in the glutes. If that feels too much, just take your shoulder bridge up and down or alternate. Just lift and lower with your leg. And then swapping if you're holding there. Try not to let those hips drop. They will want to drop, so keep squeezing. Super hard squeeze in the glutes. Then bring the hands down, lower the back down nice and gently. Hug knees to chest, rock circle. So if you can bring it up to seated position, we'll do some rollbacks. I'll put the option in. You could C-shape the lower back to upright, or you could go with a butterfly stretch, so soles of the feet together. So that's your option if you don't want to do any rolling for now. Those holding onto your shins, you could rock it back. You could put openings at the top. You could do shoulder stands, and you could put scissors in there if you want to. You've got seals where you soles of your feet together and you hold underneath and you do your clapping. Take it back, clap over. I'm going to put one in, which is called a control balance, which is on the advanced scale, if anyone wants it. You go up, you go over, and you take your arms up and over. Now you're thinking about your feet going down towards your hands, and you alternate in there. Quite an advanced one. But I know some of you like having a go with some of the advanced stuff. So I'll put it in there. Another one is crab, legs crossed, holding onto the feet. Rocking back, opening up at the top. That's quite nice for front of the body. So if you liked camel and hero earlier, it kind of links in with that quite well. Just checking out, seeing the screens and just seeing how everyone's getting on. Okay, you're gonna spine twist, and then I'm just gonna finish with a little bit of something on the feet. So we're nearly there. I've just grabbed a block so I can get nice and upright. So you can always use block or cushions. Legs crossed. If you prefer legs straight on this, no worries. Hands at heart center. Just think about getting nice and tall. Nice and long through the spine. Breathing in, then breathing out for your twist. Breathing in center. And breathing out twist. I'm going to put a little option in here. Breathe in center, breathing out. Now if you want, fingertips down and just see if that helps you in your twist. And then releasing out. So it's just, we're not holding so much, just putting in a little bit of a kind of push from the very fingertips. It's also like a stretch for the fingers as well, because you can just kind of push into the nice long fingers. 2 more. With either band actually, I think you can literally do this on loop bands if you wanted to. It's probably easier off the block actually. We're just going to go flex and point. Just going to get it so you can see what I'm doing. I mean, you don't have to hold that position, you could have legs straight. So I just did that automatically for some reason. Flex and point. Think about the body being nice and upright with this, so try not to slouch. So really get some lift. Think about like a golden thread just lifting up that rib cage. Flex and point, but notice if you're squeezing in glutes. So just try and see if you can activate the glutes as you do that, which is sometimes why it's a little bit easier in that position. And then over to the other side. Again, same thing, try not to slouch, get nice and tall. You might notice that one side doesn't really fire and the glute is as good. I mean, I get that. But that's, you just have to concentrate, work that side a little bit harder. I think it's quite nice to finish on feet, because as you go away from the class, you should feel those feet kind of really feeling the ground. The glute will be firing. So I think it's sometimes quite nice to finish on feet and fingers. Namaste.